Hey, Book Dragons, I'm so glad that you've joined me today. It's time for my weekly digest. We're going to talk about the books I've read and I'm continuing to read. We're going to talk about some channel stuff, and then we'll talk about other stuff I got up to, some other shenanigans. So if you watched this video from me before, you know the drill. We're going to get right to it, and we're going to start with some books that I finished, okay? The first one of those is A Night in the Lonesome October by Roger Zelazny. I really enjoyed this book, guys. When it got down to the end game, so many things happened. It really ramped up the action and brought it to a satisfying conclusion. Throughout the book, it was very slow-paced. It was really building for most of the book. It was still engaging, but it was very slowly building you up to the point of the climax in the book. And I think Roger Zelazny did that really well. So I really enjoyed it. The main threat at the end of the book was very surprising. And that's a good thing. I think Roger Zelazny did a good job at not giving anything away during the build-up to the final battle. So, really enjoyed it. I highly recommend this book. I may do a review for it, and I'm kind of thinking about some different ways to do reviews, at least for like all the books that I'm reading, but doing specific reviews for certain books. Well, we'll see. I'll talk more about that when we get to the channel notes section. Let's move on and talk about other books that I finished. I finished a graphic novel inspired by The Cats of Ulthar by H.P. Lovecraft. And I say inspired by because one of the collaborators on the graphic novel, the person who did the authoring, wrote the words and everything, Bruce Brown, he had reached out to me and given me a free copy of it to look at. And he told me that he specializes in reimaginings for kids. And Cats of Ulthar is one of my favorite Lovecraft short stories, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it. I'm intrigued. I don't really do review requests anymore, with a few exceptions, and this happened to be one of those exceptions. So I read it, and then I went back and read the short story by H.P. Lovecraft. And after rereading the short story, that's what makes me call it an inspiration and not an actual adaptation, because it's very different than the short story. There's not very much that resembles the original short story in this graphic novel. There are elements that are similar, and it kind of stays true to what he told me of it being a reimagining, because, you know, it would be a good introduction to Lovecraft for kids to read this graphic novel and then maybe go and pick up the original short story. So maybe it would lead them into reading more Lovecraft as they get older, but it's not an adaptation of the story. It's loosely inspired by it at best. So I'll be honest, that was a little disappointing, but it's okay. It was a really good little story on its own. The artwork in it is amazing. So I'll put it up here on the screen, and I'll link it in the description below if you want to go check it out. So I did complete that. I also am still reading The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, but by the time this video goes up, I will have finished it, because as soon as I'm done filming this video, I'm going to go finish it today. So I'm this close. So we're just going to say that I finished it. But as of right now, it's not quite finished. I'm loving it. I'm really engaged in the story. And it's just gotten to the point that it is unputdownable. So I'm really impressed with the writing and the story, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But by the time you are watching this video, I will have finished that book. So that is that. I also continued reading Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I'm a little over halfway through, and I don't know why it's taking me so long. This is a short book, but Ray Bradbury's prose in this is very metaphorical. We'll put it that way. There are a lot of metaphors, and I do mean a lot, and so it kind of makes it a little bit of a chore to read. Not a bad chore. I'm enjoying it, and I love the language he's using, and I love the metaphors that he uses. It really kind of draws you into the story because the way he uses metaphors are so unique, but it's taking a while for me to read. And I think I'm going to end up really, really liking it at the end. I'm already really, really liking it, but it's just taking me longer than I planned for it to. So there is that. I did not get back to Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell yet. I will, but of the two books I started on my trip to New York, I've just been so laser focused on the writing retreat. So I will get back to that. And then I got The Empire of the Dawn by Jay Kristoff downloaded to my Kobo just the other night, and I am itching to read it. I'm itching to pick it up, and as soon as I finish the writing retreat, I will be starting Empire of the Dawn. So it's happening, guys. I have often said that those books, there's a few authors that I will drop everything to read a new book of theirs, and that is the case with Jay Kristoff's Empire of the Vampire series. But I did not drop everything to read it because the writing retreat has to go back to the library in 2 days. So I need to finish it, get it done, and then I will drop everything else and read Empire of the Dawn. I'll read other things along with it, but I really want to focus on Empire of the Dawn. I am so excited to see how Jay Kristoff ends this fantastic epic vampire fantasy series. And that's how I've labeled it, because it really feels like an epic fantasy, but with vampires. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to read the conclusion. So that's my reading in a nutshell for this week. Now let's talk about channel notes. Okay, we're moving on to channel notes. I'm thinking about how to change things up a little bit with the new format that I've been doing with the weekly digests. It doesn't leave a whole lot of time for a lot of book reviews, although I do want to talk about a lot of the books that I've read. But I'm thinking about doing videos like I've done in the past, where I called them book review blasts. And I would do 2 or 3 book reviews in a video, just shorter book reviews for some books. And then other books I will still do full reviews for, like I did with Pet Sematary. I am planning to still do one for Misery, so you're still going to get full-length reviews for those. But there's some books that I read that I think would probably be just as well suited to being in a video together with shorter reviews. And then what I might do is take those shorter reviews and reuse them as shorts as well. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. I've seen some people doing that on BookTube, and I thought, that's kind of a cool idea. And you still get to talk about the books, but maybe not give them the full treatment. So let me know if that's something you would like. I may do that with A Night in the Lonesome October and a few other books that I've read in previous months, and kind of just put those all together and make a video out of a few book reviews. So let me know if that's something that would work for you. Let's see what else. I still have my vlog for New York coming. That is coming. I'm just having to do a lot of work to put it together. So it's coming late, but it will be coming. So stay tuned for that. I am working on my end of the year plans. And I have 3 specific videos that I'm going to be doing for that, and these will come in December. One is my 2025 in review. We're going to compare my goals at the beginning of the year to how I've done at the end of the year, so that's going to be coming. I am going to do a video talking about my plans for 2026, and I'll give you a little bit of a tease right now. I'm going to try and focus 2026 on completing series because I'm in the middle of a lot of series and I'm almost at the tail end of those series, and I really want to get them done so I can move on. I'm still going to do mood reading. I'm still going to do all that fun stuff, just kind of read what I want, but I do want to focus on completing some series. So that's going to be in my 2026 goals video. And then I will still be doing my best books of the year video, best books of 2025. So those are going to be my 3 standard videos for the holiday season. I also have a video for Beyond the Page coming out. You may have noticed that I did not do a Beyond the Page video this month, and that is because I'm putting something special together. I'm going to be doing my favorite holiday movies. I'm going to do a special presentation of Beyond the Page for my favorite holiday movies. And TV shows, I guess, although there's not, they don't really do holiday TV shows, I guess. But anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about that in my holiday presentation for Beyond the Page. So you've got a lot of fun videos coming up. And because of the way I'm doing things now with the weekly digests, I'm thinking I might throw in 1 or 2 extra videos on days that I don't normally release videos. Let me know if that's something that you would like or if that's a bit too chaotic for you. It would just mean that you get extra videos with Chaz and you get extra time with Chaz. So if you like that, I think you might like that, but we will see. Let me know. Other shenanigans that I got up to. I read the latest newsletter from V.E. Schwab. And if you are not subscribed to her newsletter, especially if you are a writer, and I'm a writer, if you're a writer, I highly recommend subscribing to V.E. Schwab's newsletter. She writes her newsletters like she writes her books. She has a very beautiful prose and presentation to her newsletters, and it just flows really nicely and kind of lets you know about her life and her writing process and everything. And I just get so much out of her newsletters. They come out on Sundays. And, well, not every Sunday, but when they come out on Sundays. And it's just the perfect, cozy newsletter to sit down with and read. So, and in that newsletter, she talked about how her final book in the Villains saga, Victorious, is planned for release next year. And I'm really excited about that. So I've been waiting for that one. So yeah, I read her newsletter. I watched a movie with my son on Halloween night, and that was The Lighthouse. And it stars Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. And of course, you're probably familiar with Robert Pattinson from the movies we will not name that have shiny vampires in them. But I was really impressed. Robert Pattinson has shown himself to be a very accomplished actor outside of the shiny vampire thing. And I'd seen him as the Batman in the last movie, The Batman. He was really, really good as Bruce Wayne in Batman. And I'd heard about The Lighthouse, but I didn't know if it would be my thing. But we decided to try it on Halloween night. It's in black and white. It's just kind of a closed room scenario. You've got these 2 sailors, a master and an apprentice, not to be confused with Star Wars, but it's a master shipwright and his apprentice who go around and occasionally are tasked with repairing lighthouses. And so they have gone to this lighthouse and they're there for, just a couple of weeks to watch over it and make any repairs that are necessary and clean it up. And it's just this really weird little movie about two guys who are cooped up together in the top of this lighthouse, and something strange is going on in the lights of the lighthouse, and there's just this weird eventual descent into madness, and it is quite horrific. It's a very odd movie. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to properly talk about it. If you can even properly talk about it, I just don't know. I don't know if I'd recommend it, I guess. I mean, if you like Willem Dafoe, Willem Dafoe is spectacular. The acting in the movie is amazing. It's really, really good. But it can be quite disturbing. Especially the ending was, ooh. Yeah, so I can't properly talk about it. If you're curious, you should probably go watch it. And then maybe come back and let me know what you thought about it, because I still don't know what to think about it. And then I watched the first 2 episodes of Welcome to Derry. That is the new prequel to It. So if you're not familiar with the Pennywise mythos, he is an entity that comes back every 27 years to terrorize the town of Derry, Maine. In the book, it's supposed to be kind of modern day, and in the movies, it was modern day as well, although they moved it up to be a little bit more modern than the book was. And so now, Welcome to Derry is going back to the previous 27-year appearance of Pennywise and following young kids in what I would think is probably the late 60s, maybe, something like that. But, oh guys, it's good. It's good. If you're a fan of the franchise, oh man, there's some horrific things in this show. There are some things that ended up in this show that I did not think that they would be allowed to film in such detail. We'll just put it that way. For a streaming television series. But it is HBO, so I guess maybe they can get away with a little bit more. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty terrifying. So I hope if you've been watching it that you've been enjoying it. I have been enjoying it. If you haven't started watching it yet, if you were kind of on the fence because you liked the original story so much, don't be on the fence. If you liked it, you will probably like this. I didn't like the book, but I liked the 2-part movie series that came out a couple of years ago, and I haven't seen the original It miniseries with Tim Curry yet, but that's on my list to watch. So, Welcome to Derry is very, very good so far. And this video has gone on way too long because of my long-winded answer to that. So, let me know in the comments below how your reading week is going. What have you been reading? What have you been watching? What are some other things that you got up to? And until next time, guys, make sure you read more books. I will talk with you soon. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to watch more of my content, there are ideas here on the end screen.